Hey everyone, this is Joel from American Giants. It is time once again to sell another Muffler Man, and I get really excited about this. It's always it's fun to when one comes up for sale. I'm always really curious where it's going to end up. Everyone has a story. Everyone is different, and it's fun to. It's a good excuse to go into history on these different giants and do a special episode like this one, specifically about a Muffler Man that's going to come up for sale. So the next one that's up for sale is the one in Mount Vernon, Illinois. This is a Uniroyal girl, so these do not come up, Uniroyal gal. These do not come up for sale very often, so this is a big one. This is a big deal. Very cool history. Got the full complement, the shirt, the skirt, bikini underneath. Lots of Illinois history on this one, and some California history twice mixed in there. So let's dive into it. The Mount Vernon Uniroyal girl, she started out in California. She was part of the Miss Uniroyal program, where these girls were used as promotions for the Uniroyal Tire Company. They went around the country. Many different states had them. They would get set up at a shop that sold Uniroyal tires. Normally had a big banner there that said Uniroyal Tire. The girl came with advertising as well, a sign that she held in addition to banners that you could put up on the shop. She normally came on a trailer and a platform, and she could easily be stood up, and she normally was on a rotating program where she would come to the state and start bouncing between different towns and different Uniroyal shops. This program started around 1967 and ran for a few years, kind of was fizzling out by 1970 or slightly before. So these girls came in a few different colors. Classic colors were yellow and blue skirt, yellow shirt and blue skirt, but they also had red and blue as well. So there was a few different colors of these girls that were traveling around. They probably made about 30 of them or so. Maybe more, maybe a little less, we don't know for sure, but these girls were deployed all over the country and came with newspaper advertisements that ran in the local paper, having you guess the girl's weight or different drawings or whatever it was that would attract you down to buy tires and check out the giant lady. So these ladies were traveling around, quite popular. Not every town was excited to have her, but most were. And she came in the shirt and skirt. Very few were displayed in bikinis. So it was a nice program, and it was one of my favorites. I think she looked fantastic. There's stories how the sculptor had a thing for Jackie Kennedy, and that's why she has the hairstyle she does. But we don't really know who sculpted her. I have my hunches. I don't think it was Bill Swan. I think it was another sculptor that did work for International Fiberglass, but we just don't know for sure. Generally, a few girls were deployed to each state. It wasn't uncommon to have 2 or 3 girls working a state. And Illinois was a big state. Of course, you got Chicago, you got some big cities in Illinois up to the north. And so there was multiple girls in Illinois. Everybody knows about Peoria, the one that has been there forever and changes seasonally. For pool season, she's in a bikini, and for winter season, she still has her shirt and skirt. And she is an original that was used in that area way back in the 60s and has just stayed there ever since. Another one that was deployed to Illinois was the girl that ended up in Mount Vernon. The history that I know on her is that she was used at a few different stores, and eventually she was acquired by Stan the Tire Man business. And I don't know if they got her as part of the promotion or when the promotion ended. From some of the things that I've heard, and I remember talking to the owner years ago, and I think he got her after the promotion, but he did get her on that trailer, that original trailer and platform. And I've heard a few different versions that she stood with the regular Bunyan Muffler Man in Mount Vernon. And then I've also heard that her and the giant Paul Bunyan were in Salem to the north. And stood there together, and then she came down south to the Mount Vernon store in probably the early to mid 70s, and has been photographed all through the years at Stan the Tire Man's. I mean, just a regular fixture for the town of Mount Vernon. Around 2015, Stan the Tire Man was closing up shop. They'd been in business for many, many years, and it was time to say goodbye, and they were selling everything off. It's always a great opportunity for locals at that point in time to jump in and save these giants and keep them in town. And that didn't happen that time. It was sold out of state to Bruce Kennedy at Bell Plastics in Hayward, California. And he actually purchased it, and then he called us and he asked us to help with the takedown. And this was 2015. We were brand new. I think we were restoring our first 14-footer from Morton's Gap, Kentucky at the time. And so we were, American Giants was brand new with restoration. So I went up there with Michael. This is the guys and Will Wharf. These were the guys now who run Regiant. And so we went up there and took her down. That was one of the first ones we took down. And we took Terrence with us, and had a grand old time taking this old girl down. There was a few people, I remember the locals showed up and watched her come down, and we got her all down and loaded up in that trailer. And then she sat in Southern Illinois for another week or two before we finally, the lady who came out and took her to California showed up, and we got her loaded up and shipped off to Bruce. And Bruce fully restored her. He took her out to California, and he gave her a new paint job. He made a mold so he could make copies, and he had her all done up and kind of did her a polka dot bikini and never put her shirt and skirt back on. To this day, her shirt and skirt have not been back on her. And she was out there in California for years. I went out and visited her many times. I was doing taking different giants that I had out there for restoration at the time, around 2018. I remember seeing her a number of times, and shot some great video of her. We never thought she'd leave. And in around 2021, some new owners of the building in Mount Vernon, where Stan the Tire Man had been, they started inquiring, and I remember they talked to us a number of times, but they were very interested in getting her back, and they had a business there, and they wanted her back, and they were successful. It was an amazing story, because once a town loses a girl, you normally don't get her back, and they worked very hard and very diligently, and they got her back to Mount Vernon. Bruce Kennedy sold her back to them, and they put her back up in the same exact spot where she had been, and the guys from Regiant went back up there and put her back up after we all took her down years before. And she went up in her bikini, and oftentimes these girls, when they don't have a shirt and skirt on her, homemade clothes are made, and we've seen that happen in a number of different girls, and that's what happened to her. And so she stood there for a number of years. I think she was purchased in 2021 and went back up in 2022 or something like that, and has stood there ever since. So now you come all the way up to 2024, and the building is up for sale again. So the current owners who brought her back, they are now selling that business in that location. And so they'd like to find a new home for her. And they really want somebody who appreciates the history, the things of yesteryear, vintage, roadside, Americana, Muffler Men, Uniroyal girls. And I'm so thankful that they've reached out to me. We've had a friendship over the years, and that's what we're all about. We love preserving these, finding them appropriate and good homes for people who really enjoy these giants, and where the public can continue to enjoy them. And that's been really successful with the sales we've done. And so I'm so thankful that they reached out to me, and we can offer her for sale in the same format here on American Giants, like we have many other giants. The rules of the sale are the same as we always do. We really just offer, we call it an offer board on our website, where basically you make an offer on the girl, and the highest offer will be displayed at all times during the offer time period, which will be about 2 weeks in this case. And so all you have to do is write us an email and tell us your name, give us a handle of what you want to be listed as. It doesn't have to be your real name, but just something to go with your offer, and people will be able to see that. And then when a new offer comes in that's higher, we'll put that up. And we basically just help the owners collect offers. But we manage the sale, so only contact us. The owners won't respond to any inquiries or offers directly. We will handle all that here at American Giants, and then as soon as the sale is complete or the offer time is complete, we give that information over to the owners, and they will review it. And if they accept the high offer, then we turn everything over to them, and you will handle the rest of the sale and the purchase directly with them. So that's basically how it works. If you want more information and details on how it works, just shoot us an email. We'll answer any questions that you have. This is also an opportunity for locals in Mount Vernon to work together and keep her in town, or it's an opportunity for others farther away that have their own plans and ideas for preserving these giants and displaying them to get her. And who knows where she will end up, but it's always exciting to see. So as far as the girl, like I said before, I would say she is in good condition. She comes with the shirt and skirt. It's been in storage, so the paint job has never been in the rain for that one. But she's all together. Just like the other sales we've done on here, it's the responsibility of the buyer to work with the current owners on a pickup date. Normally it's within a month or so of the sale. And then, of course, the responsibility for getting it down is on the purchaser. But you've got Regiant that literally lives next door, not quite, but close by, that can help, as well as other things you could do to get her down and get her transported. As always, we're right here to talk to about any questions you have with restoration, transportation, takedown, setup. We will either answer your questions or refer you to the right people, and depending on where she's going, all those things, reach out to us. We'd be happy to talk to you, and really looking forward to seeing where the Mount Vernon Uniroyal girl ends up.